Welcome. You are at the CCC.
Where there are no outside issues. My name is Anthony. I'm an addict and I'm an addict and an alcoholic. I'm totally sober right now. Another bozo on the bus, and I care about you.
My name is Jordan. I'm also an addict, and I'm always trying to make good choices.
Yes, and I'm LouiLou, and my pronouns are he and him. I'm in recovery for crystal meth and alcohol, and I'm always in search of balance. And each week, we strive to foster a brave search so we can engage in conversations centered around topics of recovery.
Our intention is to hold and inspire better spaces for more people in recovery by tackling issues sometimes used to separate us.
Yes, but before we do that, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and rate this episode.
Rate this episode
5 stars.
5 stars.
Time to just write. Babble, babble, babble.
Babble, babble, babble. And now the disclaimer, the thoughts and opinions expressed on At the CCC are ours alone. We do not represent anyone but ourselves. In other words, we're just a couple of friends behind a mic here to entertain you. And of course, everything we talk about is for general purposes only. So don't be going somewhere and being like, well, what they told me to do on the podcast was, because we don't have attorneys.
If somebody told you to go jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, would you do it?
Girl.
Depends on the day.
It's like my mother. It's like
When you said babble babble, it made me think of rapple dabble.
How's everyone doing?
Great.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm happy to be back.
We are continuing our step series. We have Becky back, the lovely, the wonderful, the grounded, the intuitive
Dr. Becky.
Dr. Becky.
Do you like this outfit? It's different than what I was wearing
So we're continuing our step series. If this is the first time you're listening to us, the step series is based on the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. But basically what we're doing in this series is we aren't speaking directly to the steps as they're written, but instead what they inspire. Conversations inspire with the hope being that for folks who are listening who might not be in 12-step, you might maybe borrow some of these ideas.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So what step are we on?
I think we're on step 8.
What's step 8, Jordan?
I love 8.
I think it's made direct amends.
No, made a list of people we had harmed and became willing to make direct
I went
amends.
ahead.
Yeah.
Go for it, Becky. Say it again.
Say it for the people in the back.
Made a list of all the persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all.
And where do we get that list?
From our 4th step,
That's-
usually, yeah.
Yeah. So if you didn't listen to our step 4 series,
Pause right now and go listen to it.
This is actually like the first half of this step is like super easy for me
to make the list.
Yeah, because basically my sponsor said like write down every single person in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, interesting.
And you know there's like a way like so like there were like miscellaneous like things like like Eric Perry and like
Who's that?
2nd grade there was this dork that I could not
Not the last name.
I was mean to him and everything. He like had this weird way where he walked on mostly his toes, and he had this like calic in the back that kind of bounced up and down.
So you bullied him.
Sort of. Well, yeah. Like, I mean,
I got it.
yeah.
Yes, we've all done things.
I used to be a major see you next Tuesday.
Oh no. So the way my sponsor, so what I liked about this step is that it isn't necessarily, so my sponsor took a different approach. It wasn't necessarily that I was apologizing or making a list of every single person that was covered in my 4th step, because part of what my sponsor was saying, actually, there isn't a need to make an amends here. You didn't actually have a part in that. Or, you know what, this is actually an amends you can make, but maybe it would be harmful to them and might harmful to you. So maybe this is going to be a living amends. And for folks listening, a living amends is basically where, we might not be making an amends to a person, but we change our behavior such that by our actions in the world, we are showing that we've made amends. We've made a change.
But it's not stepping ahead to step 9, right?
What? No, we're step 8.
Right. But the amends part doesn't happen.
No.
Willing. But like, the thing is, like, I have a different way of looking at it though, because most of the things where you talk about there's no amends to make in this situation. Sometimes the person which is also the person that we tend to forget to put on our 4th step is ourselves.
Yeah. Say more about that.
So sometimes like the amends to make is not to the person that like, it's the amends to make is like, how do we like not let this situation repeat itself?
Yeah. I think one of the hard ones, and I don't even know if we should go here, but one of the really hard ones that I've heard before when we're talking about step 4 and making an amends is whenever there's been some violence done onto us and that person is on our 4th step, right? And that's an example of where we have to make the amends to ourselves, right? It's like we aren't excusing really shitty behavior from other people, but maybe what we're doing is we're finding a way to relieve ourselves or free ourselves from maybe like the hatred or the anger it's inspired in us.
Yeah.
My sponsor had me do the same thing. Come up with a list, put everybody on that list. And I think step 8 is about awareness. It's about figuring out if what I thought was harm was actually harm. Because sometimes it's like going into it, what I thought sometimes was harm wasn't so much, and what I didn't realize. Like a big one was I steer clear of my family when I was going through my darkest time. And the harm in that was that I didn't allow, I wasn't concerned about, I was so concerned about not hurting them or not being seen a certain way that I was being selfish. I wasn't allowing them to know what was going on with me. So it's like not knowing that was probably worse than like if they saw me experiencing it. It's like not knowing what somebody's going through is like,
yeah, if you don't let people know what you're going through, they can't show up for you.
Exactly.
That's right. There's the other thing I was thinking about with this is there's a line in A Vision for You that says, we do not want to crawl before anyone, nor do we want anyone to crawl before us. So, I mean, I'm getting a little ahead here, but I'm thinking about when we're making that list of people that we've harmed, right? There's a couple things that
I'm sorry, I have to say this. There are times when I really like it when people crawl towards me.
What's that noise? Oh my God, it's my alarm on my phone. Sorry.
He's all, what's that noise?
He looks up in the sky and like, Jesus.
Sorry, you were saying.
No, I was being silly.
Yeah,
being silly.
Like when the boy crawls to the couch.
When he crawls to me and I say, get over here now.
But not crawling before anyone. So when we're making that list of people, the goal there is not what we're doing when we're making that list is we're taking responsibility and we're also taking the shame and guilt out of whatever it is that happened.
Absolutely.
Right? Because what happens when like there's a resentment or there's some kind of bridge that feels like it's been burned down, that kind of like exists in our heads, and there's never kind of it like the making the amends or making the list, right? It's almost like putting out the pavement, the road that we can eventually cross.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Laying the pavement.
The building.
Yeah.
blocks.
Is that what I was looking for? Yeah.
What I learned, I mean, I'm skipping a little ahead, but like all of these steps are about me, even if it seems like they're about someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amazing byproduct of me figuring out that I was an asshole and that I need to work on this or whatever is that other people, they get to, if an amends or anything is necessary, but it's about me. It's about like what I'm doing and trying to be this better version of myself. And a lot of people are fearful of step 8, especially in the program, because it's like think, God, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to have to make amends. I mean, that's what kept me in this life. I didn't have to look back.
That's really hard.
I didn't have to look back, but it's the gift that when you get to that place where you realize, no, I want to do this. I want to let go of these things so I don't have to look over my shoulder, so that I can live free.
Yeah.
Can we define harm?
Sure.
Like,
Go on.
What is it? What justifies harm versus like what makes it on the list versus not on the list?
Well, we can, even if there is harm, we can put it on the list.
Yeah.
Right. The difference is that we aren't maybe making a direct amends or making a living amends. So for example, I'll give you an example that my sponsor gave me years ago. I was in a relationship. I did something outside of the bounds of my relationship. And I thought that what that meant is that I needed to go to my partner at the time and say, hey, I did this thing. My sponsor said, absolutely not. That would hurt him. And and you don't get to absolve yourself by making amends to him. I thought, oh, this is giving me a way out, when in fact, actually, it forced me to sit with myself, right? I now had to deal with the fact that I had done this thing, and I couldn't absolve myself of it. I couldn't go to this other person and kind of essentially hand over the harm or the hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you, Becky, I saw you.
No, I'm like agreeing with you, because it's like, like a lot of times when they say like, except for when to do so would injure them or others, that's step 9. But like, it's like, made a list of people we had harmed. Like, here's this person we harmed, and like became willing to make amends to them. Sometimes making amends to them is like not doing it again.
That's right.
Sometimes making amends, like I've had relationships, like someone that we know who is, my amends is to steer clear.
Oh yeah, that's it. The thing about it is I have been in relationships before, like before I was in the program, where I did things, and like the way that I handled them, because I didn't want to like reveal to them what had happened, is I decided that was a deal breaker, and I just kind of like started to detach, and then ended the relationship because I ruined it already.
Yeah. God, this is, and it's so interesting that we're talking about all of this, because we're literally just talking about making a list. But even in making that list, I think, I'm just thinking about it, it brings up so much stuff.
Yeah, you can't not think about these things as you're doing this. This is why. Like, I think it's super important, even though we're talking about this, and we're talking about this to people who probably haven't worked the steps, it's super important to know that something like this really should be done with someone that you trust. It helps when you have like fresh eyes, fresh outlook, someone who can kind of look at the things, because,
and also like it really helps to have somebody to tell it to, because sometimes you're like saying something, and like as it's coming out of your mouth, you're like, bitch, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's like, so, and sometimes it's their awareness that your sponsor, like hopefully they have enough, experience, or they have like a take on something. Like my sponsor said something to me recently that like totally took me off guard, because I like never thought of that. Like,
what was it?
Like, huh?
What was it? You don't have to share. Yeah.
It was basically, we were talking about how like my parents were separated when my mom got pregnant with me, and they got back together because, to try and make it work. And like, basically like it was something along the lines that like, you never thought you were allowed to be born. So like, you're not even supposed to be here.
Wow.
Like, so, and like, I can't remember exactly the words that he said, but the way that he put it, it was like, oh my God, like it just really shot straight through my heart. And I was like, oh my God, like that's like, wow, I was not prepared.
Right. That's so beautiful.
It's our relationship to others in the work that we do that helps us to have these revelations, these what do we call them?
Epiphanies,
or the way we word it, having had a spiritual awakening.
Oh, spiritual awakening.
Yeah, because it's like, sometimes it's like, again, my sick mind cannot heal my sick mind.
That's right.
It's like I'm going in circles over the same thing, ruminating over nonsense or whatever, like you said, and then you say it out loud. It's like, oh, actually, there's some shit like before, like I would talk to myself, but I wouldn't talk to myself about the important things. So a lot of times what I'll do when I'm by myself is I will say certain things out loud to hear how it sounds. And so it's like, and that has been a great kind of like, oh, it's, the work is ready. I'm ready to do the work.
Yeah.
Well, now describe by yourself. Like you're talking to yourself.
Well, I talk to myself. I always talk. Are you kidding? I talk to myself all the time. It's like because like, it's crazy. I living by myself. Do you find this? We all live by ourselves. Mm-hmm. You find that there are times where I can go most of the morning without saying a word.
Yeah.
And then when I finally say words, like it's all cracking up.
No, I know, because like my voice is really deep and gravelly in the morning, and so like sometimes when I like go to like talk to somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the first person I talked to all day. I have to pull out my phone's ex-wife.
It's beautiful, because I have conversations in my head all the time.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so I think going back to this idea of making a list, I think there are a few things that a few benefits of doing that. So the first thing I think that happens is that it goes from being something that kind of just exists in our heads, right? We've enlisted the support of a sponsor. So, right, we're taking it out of our head. We've brought somebody else into the equation. We've put it down on paper. We're making it workable, right? We're bringing it, we're distilling it down to simple parts that we can actually work with.
It's a pre-production for step 9.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's doing all the work, whether or not you're writing letters, whatever. It's also getting yourself mentally ready to take action, because when we get to the amends part, it's about if I'm going to make a successful amends, I need to know, number one, why I'm doing it and what my contrary behavior needs to be as a result of taking it. Because I've said sorry a million times.
So what have been folks' experiences with, well, I guess I don't want to get ahead, but maybe a preview of what it was like to maybe make an amends, like go from the list to the action.
Well, I think there's a step in between that, right?
What is it?
To be willing, right? Like, to me, my question is, if I write this long ass list, and I'm not willing to make amends to half
Harry
of them,
Potter step 8.5,
right? 100%. Like, what do you do with that? The things that you aren't ready.
You do the ones you're ready for, and hopefully you get some practice and awareness in the process.
The list is broken down.
Sometimes there's I've had amends to make that were from my original fucking 12 steps.
They keep passing
that I'm on the steps again, and this one's left over here, it's
or if you going back to what we said last time, it's you don't have to do any of this perfectly. Say I made an amends and I didn't mean it, because I didn't know that I didn't mean it. Then I get to kind of revisit it. But one of the things we didn't talk about with these lists is we put down on that list, after we figure out where the harm is, there are some that are so effortless that we won't have any problem making. So we put them on this. I can make that today, right now. And then there's maybe I'm kind of not sure, whatever. And there are others, people have passed on. You don't know what to do. And then there's that list that said, fuck no. I had one person on my first go round. I just could not see myself making amends. This person was whatever. I held on tight. And then I finally wrote a letter, and he didn't respond. And I was fine. It was that I needed to make that letter. It was not about him. The funny thing is, a couple of years later, maybe 5 or 6 years later, he tried to reach out to make an amends to me, and I was able to kind of, I'm glad you're doing the work, but I'm not responding. I don't want to give you any opportunity to come back into my life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're triaging your list of.
Look at you.
You are triaging, yeah. I have someone. I told you about this person. I've had someone. From my 4th step on my resentment list for 10 years, over 10 years, and I could not get him off of my resentment list.
Why is that?
Why is that? It just cuts so deep. It cuts it taps into my jealousy, my envy, my pride. I mean, it just cuts so deep. And I still have a little bit of a sting from that. I've never had to make an amends to him because I've never done anything to him, but it's just there are just things about this person that, they just kind of undo me. And so I've never, and I think part of that has been the living amends here has been trying to behave in a way where, God, this feels a little too vulnerable to say, but to act as if I matter, and that I'm not less than this person. And that's been going back to Becky's point, is that it's a lifelong thing. I know it's so hard. My poor little sensitive heart.
I didn't say it in the last episode, but
what?
We absolutely have to give ourselves grace.
Oh.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, you missed your line. You say that every episode.
Do you want to tell us that you're a Virgo too?
No, I don't need to say that. It's come Shut the hell up.
Is it high stakes?
Shut the hell up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Becky, you were gonna say something.
I was gonna say there was somebody who like reached out to me to like make amends, and I specifically like was like, no way, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, it's interesting too to talk about the satisfaction, right? Because that's going back to when to injure them or to injure ourselves or others.
Yeah.
Right. It's like we don't get to make an amends. We don't get to apologize to absolve ourselves of guilt.
Absolutely.
I feel like I hear a little bit of that in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because from that, right, I'm hearing that in some ways to receive an amends, you have to be willing to receive it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because some people don't want to fucking hear from you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So how do you prepare yourself to receive an amends if you have some adversity to it?
I don't think that's.
That's not.
Yeah, I don't know that that's
not,
part of the stuff.
Yeah, it's not a part of the steps. Well, no, it's not. It's a part of like
you can sit and listen to somebody make amends, and you have no obligation to give them anything in return.
Absolutely.
And like they say that like with us too. Like when we go to make amends to somebody, they're not obligated to receive it.
Not at all.
That's right. I want to make sure that we say this, that this is not something that you should do by yourself.
No, not at all.
None of this.
Don't jump ahead.
And don't jump ahead.
I always have my before like a lot of times we get sober, we get all excited. Oh God, everything is good, and then we want to make everything right. And you can't walk 100 miles into the forest and turn around and all of a sudden have it be right. Like you might create more damage.
That's right.
If you do it too soon. Like we say, the steps are in order for a reason. You should not be making those amends until you are ready, because by the time, if we do all the work the way we need to, by the time we reach that, we start to understand why, and then we're able to kind of give ourselves the kind of necessary grace and do what we need to, and we're willing to listen to our sponsor, because I'm like this. It's like you don't have to do it by yourself. Come talk to me. Let's talk about this before you do it. Run some things by me so I can make sure that you don't create a new problem.
More wreckage.
Yeah, more wreckage. More wreckage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Louis is not doing well.
Yeah.
This might be the last episode.
I'm going to kill over and die.
Yeah.
Wow. You got one button you know how to push, huh?
I do, yeah.
It's so interesting. It feels a little bit to me like, oh my God, I think we've talked about everything we can about this step.
That's how
A little
it feels.
bit.
Do you know what I mean? And what do you think that's about?
Sounds like we need to write a list about it.
You know what I think it is, actually? I think, and this is not my idea. I've heard this a lot in recovery spaces where people say that when you're an addict and an alcoholic, you want things to be, Louis just stepped out of the room, where when you're an addict and an alcoholic, you want things to be instant, right? And one of the things that is woven into 12-step is simplicity. And when you get to a step like making a list, that's literally all it is. And there's this part of me that's like, oh wait, I guess that is all of it. Like you're not necessarily like praying and meditating over the list necessarily.
Yeah.
You don't get extra credit if it's in alphabetical order.
Right. Like, it doesn't have to be in an Excel sheet, right? There's just, it's simple.
But I imagine I've yet to do it, but I imagine the process is emotionally exhausting.
To write the list.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, I think when you're going through steps 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, like those are really fucking exhausting. Because for a lot of people, you're being introspective in a way that you've never been introspective, or you're looking at things that you've been avoiding your entire life. So by the time you get to the point where like you're going to bring somebody else in and admit kind of the nature of your wrongs, right?
Yeah.
That's very difficult. Louis is back at the table.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back.
I had a moment.
Oh, good.
I had a moment. I was like,
what's the
I couldn't
cheesiness
get it out. It's like,
You're all cheesing it over there.
Over there. Are we landing the plane early with this
I think
one?
we're landing the plane early. It's like,
Yeah.
unless you have other thoughts. It's
I
like,
don't have any other thoughts. Yeah, okay, maybe one other thought and another thing. If you've been listening to this series, obviously we can't cover everything in the 30 minutes that we talk about different topics. I would encourage you to maybe do some research.
Or reach out to us.
Reach out to us.
We'll
yeah.
talk to you about.
We'll talk to you about the 12 steps. But yeah, look into them. Even if you're not in recovery, look at the 12 steps, read them, maybe think or meditate about them. And again, they're not designed for you to go through by yourself. You want someone that you like trust or love or is a safe person to walk you through those things.
The steps in recovery is about connection.
Yeah.
Taking a deep breath so you can get it all in.
Okay. Oh my God, Becky. Oh my God.
Wow.
Hey, so actually, okay. Totally. Exactly. You know what's gonna happen? You know what's happening? This is Happy New Year because when this episode comes out, it's the New Year.
It's a Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy 2026.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like we're really trying to stretch this episode out, but I feel like we're really trying. And people are listening, and they're like, "Shut the fuck up! Just where's the outro?
Land the plane.
Land the plane."
It's like that person at a meeting where you guys can go after this. It's like I'm all, but I have 3 more questions.
Well, what about when like the visibility in the plane isn't allow you, and you have to circle around for a few more?
Wow. Okay. You are a good communicator.
The Castro Country Club is a safe and sober community center for all people in a refuge for the LGBTQ recovery community.
We provide programs and services that help change lives by supporting personal growth.
And our vision is to reduce the suffering. What are we in church?
Yes, stop
The
it.
suffering of addiction by connecting people to community, opportunity, and support.
You can find more information, including all the ways to contact us at
Getting bigger.
at www.castrocountryclub.org/podcast.
And check out new episodes every Monday when they are released.
Okay, we love you. Happy New Year. Bye.